So what's the real reason cryptocurrencies have not been widely adopted by the general public? If you think like me, and you probably do if you're watching this video, you know that blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies are some of the most exciting and empowering technologies the world has seen, especially in recent times, and probably believe that the world would be a much better place if everyone kind of used them instead of especially old fiat money. But we can't escape the fact that over a decade in, it's still just some crazy people like myself who are actually using this stuff on a daily basis. Now, why is that? There's of course a lot of theories, and we do have a long ways to go in a few ways. So for example, volatility is a problem, lack of proper regulation can be a problem, and sometimes the technology itself can be a little bit clunky. But I don't believe that these are the real reasons that are keeping everyone from using it. There's two big things that stand out to me. So the first reason is no one really needs crypto for anything. I mean, it sure helps with a whole lot of things. Like if you want to send a remittance, it's cheap, fast, it's instant, you don't need to go through regulators, or rather, you don't have to go through the conversion process, whatever else. You can buy things that traditionally payment processors don't work with, for example, legal cannabis, things like that. And if for whatever reason you're unbanked, you have a great financial system you can use that doesn't require your ID and can't really censor you. All great stuff, but you don't actually need a cryptocurrency to do any of these things. You can go pay with cash at your weed store. You can send a remittance through other ways, some of which can be pretty cheap, relatively speaking. And people have been living in a cash-only world for a long time, using check cashing places, using some different ways to pay their bills, etc., etc. You don't really need cryptocurrency to do anything. And that's the big problem. In my opinion, you won't see people solving these other problems facing the technology until there's a few reasons that they really need to use it to begin with. So for example, if there's something that they can't get anywhere else other than using cryptocurrency, that would really prompt them to start using it. The old adage is that crypto is a solution in search of a problem. And while it works really well for a lot of things, there just is not a compelling reason why you absolutely need to acquire these tokens to begin with, in almost all cases. There's some small ones, but that's kind of about it. Purse.io is a great example of a compelling reason to use crypto. 15% off, or sometimes much more on Amazon purchases when using Bitcoin. That alone is enough of a reason to explore getting some, but the process has too many friction points. Escrow, depositing more in case of price fluctuations, dealing with third parties, waiting, and so on. Combine this with the pain of actually buying and storing the crypto to begin with, and your average person just won't do it. The Silk Road was an excellent example of a compelling enough reason to use crypto. Much of what you could buy there was illegal and in high demand by certain customers, and there was no other way to buy it than with decentralized digital money. But of course that got taken down, and darknet customers, or anyone seeking out illegal activity, will always be a small portion of society. The second problem is that there's a lot of friction around acquiring cryptocurrency for very small amounts. Now, of course, if you're a trader or you're trying to make this a lifestyle, you're trying to buy every single month, whatever it is, it's not that difficult to, get an exchange account, link your bank account, go through all the KYC, all that kind of stuff, and then you just continually buy and you use, on a regular basis. That's not the problem. It's what if someone says, hey, can you donate to my YouTube channel or whatever it is? Can you buy this thing? Do you want to do all this? And they don't have any cryptocurrency. There's that big barrier, that big friction to getting involved where now you have to sign up for a new service. You have to go through this KYC, put in your ID, whatever, wait for verification, deal with limits and stuff before trading. It's all this kind of stuff. What if you just want to buy $20, $50, whatever of cryptocurrency just to test out a new app or to send to someone in a different country or whatever? Just so much friction there. One of the areas where there's the least friction in buying crypto is through an ATM, where a lot of times you can just go up, put some money in, and get it right to your phone. Some do have KYC, but usually it's like a phone number type thing where you just put in your phone number as a basic verification method, and then there you go. It's still very quick. There's not a lot of problems with that. But of course, first off, compared to most other ways of buying crypto, ATMs are extremely expensive. And of course, the other thing is you have to actually find a physical kiosk near you. You have to leave your house, put on your pants, go down there, get some cash, which a lot of people don't even have cash. Just get some cash from the bank. You have to go to this physical location, make sure no one's behind you or whatever, actually figure it out in public and, do this whole transaction. And that doesn't really work either if you're just going to get a small amount to, play around with it. There are a few solutions out there that allow customers to buy crypto with just a credit card. And while they look pretty seamless, they do require some KYC. While this is reasonable to expect, most people don't have pictures of their passport or other document just lying around on their computer ready to attach and send on a whim. ChangeNow did have a no KYC option for small amounts, where you could simply put in a phone number and your card number and get started, but sadly that option is no longer available. So what can we actually do about this? How can we fix this problem? Well, I'm sure that would be a whole much longer video than this one, but here's a few ideas. First, we need to develop token-specific use cases, where basically, in order to use the product, you actually need to buy the token. And people need to actually want to do the thing that you need the token for badly enough to want to buy the token to begin with. For example, imagine there's something you can only buy with cryptocurrency and that you can't have any kind of a fiat workaround. That's the only way to do it. And you actually really want that product or service. That's one good example. Or use some kind of app or service or join some kind of economy or whatever that requires cryptocurrency to use, and you really want to be included in that, like for example a social network. The second thing we could do, if we can figure it out, is to create frictionless micro fiat conversions, which basically means a way you can buy small amounts without putting a lot of friction into there, without creating a new account, without doing all the KYC, because you're just getting a small amount. It's nothing suspicious. You're not going to be money laundering or anything like that. And if you need at some point to do KYC to buy more of it, then you can go there when you want to, but not just to participate at a very basic level. And finally, get people to actually have crypto to begin with. A lot of these frictions around crypto are all associated with people just not having it yet and having to go out of their way to buy it. And of course, if you already have cryptocurrency, like me, I live all off of crypto, if that's all you got, then it's not that much friction to spend it. It's not that much friction to use it for whatever else. In fact, you get to just experience the great joy that is using a frictionless system where you don't have a bunch of gatekeepers and barriers. You just get to act on impulse, and it's a beautiful feeling, but you have to have some to begin with. So we have to find more ways of people getting cryptocurrency to begin with, and then just tap into them and say, hey, why don't you use this service or product or whatever. That last one isn't so far-fetched, as a lot of people are waking up to the problems of central bank issued currencies. This year, the Consumer Price Index in the US has made its largest jump since 1991 in a single month back in June. And there's evidence that Americans are putting their stimulus checks straight into crypto as they get them. When lots of people have crypto, they'll demand lots of ways of using it. So what do you think? What kind of solutions do you have for this problem? Do you have any ideas of how we could better get people to get cryptocurrency or make it easier to actually acquire it and develop those kind of key use cases? Please let me know in the comments below. Trust me, I actually do read them. Doesn't matter which platform this is on, I will be reading them. So let me know. I'll see you next time.